Welcome to Odd Ifs, where we twist history with mind-bending what-ifs. Today's question will make you rethink the entire sound of modern music. What if Tony Iommi never lost the tips of his fingers on the factory line? That's right, one of the most pivotal injuries in rock history almost didn't happen. And if it hadn't, the world might have never gotten heavy metal as we know it. Here's how a devastating accident shaped not just a guitarist's career, but the sound of rebellion itself. It was 1966. Tony Iommi, then just 17 years old, was working at a sheet metal factory in Birmingham, England, like many working-class kids trying to make ends meet. One day, while operating a giant industrial press, disaster struck. The machine malfunctioned and crushed the fingertips off both of his right hand. Doctors told him he'd never play guitar again. For most people, that would have been the end of the dream. But for Iommi, it was the beginning of something entirely new. He couldn't grip strings the way he used to. His fingers were numb. The pain was constant. So he adapted by doing everything differently. He made his own lighter strings out of banjo wire. He built custom picks from plastic bottles. And most importantly, he tuned his guitar lower, way lower, so the tension was easier on his damaged fingers. That drop in tuning created a darker, heavier, sludgier sound than anyone had ever heard before. That sound became the foundation of Black Sabbath, and with it, the birth of metal. That crushing low E drone wasn't just a stylistic choice. It was born from necessity, from tragedy, from survival. Without that injury, what would rock music sound like today? Let's imagine an alternate timeline, where Iommi doesn't get hurt, where he keeps his fingers intact and continues playing guitar the way he always did. Sharp, fast, bluesy. No need for lighter strings, no reason to tune down, no pressure to reinvent. So what happens next? Well, first of all, there's no Black Sabbath we recognize, at least not the same one. Yes, Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward are still there, but without Iommi's altered sound, the band leans into a more traditional blues rock direction. Maybe they become another Fleetwood Mac, another Free, another early 70s blues revival act, talented, but not revolutionary. No Black Sabbath, no NIB, no doom-laden riffs that scared parents and inspired generations. Instead, maybe Iommi becomes a session player, or joins a soul band, or plays jingles for ads. A different life, a different legacy. And here's the big ripple effect. Without Black Sabbath's signature sound, heavy metal never forms the way it does. There's no Led Zeppelin II sounding heavier than expected, because no one's pushing the envelope yet. There's no Deep Purple speeding things up and adding keys. There's no Judas Priest evolving into leather-clad metal gods. Without that dark, low-end blueprint, bands don't know what to aim for. Maybe glam rock takes over completely. Maybe progressive rock dominates the decade. But metal? It either evolves decades later, or never happens at all. And what about the musicians who came after? Imagine a world where Eddie Van Halen grows up listening to classic blues instead of Sabbath and Purple. Does he invent two-handed tapping? Probably not. What if James Hetfield never hears that crushing rhythm tone and decides to pursue accounting instead of forming Metallica? What if Kerry King of Slayer never picks up a guitar because nothing grabs him the way those dark riffs once did? One injury, one man's desperate adaptation, and suddenly the entire genre of metal vanishes, or at least becomes unrecognizable. But it goes even deeper. Think about culture, fashion, identity, rebellion. Metal isn't just music, it's attitude, it's defiance, it's community. Without that heavy sound to rally around, would the subculture have formed the same way? Would long hair and leather jackets still be synonymous with rebellion? Or would punk have taken over earlier? Would the headbanging ritual exist? Would mosh pits? Would festivals like Ozfest or Hellfest ever happen? Even Hollywood feels the shift. No Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. No This Is Spinal Tap. No Rockstar. Just a slightly tamer version of pop culture. Less volume, less distortion, less edge. And let's not forget, technology follows music. Guitar companies wouldn't have rushed to build heavier amps, thicker strings, and distortion pedals. Effects development slows down. Even digital audio processing, which evolved partly to handle heavier sounds, might not develop at the same pace. All of this because a teenage boy got hurt at work. One moment, one crushed fingertip, one decision to tune down instead of give up. And from that pain, something beautiful and brutal was born. So what do you think? Could rock have survived without metal? Or was Tony Iommi's injury the spark that gave us the loudest, darkest, most rebellious music genre of all time? Drop your thoughts below. And if you loved this strange detour into musical history, smash that like button, subscribe to what-ifs, and hit the bell so you never miss another bizarre what if.